We've got a lot to talk about today on our final show before game day, which should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a long weekend. I kind of struggle with those Monday night games when we don't get to talk about the team for a couple days, but that means that we've got to get it all out now. Evan Engram, J.K. Dobbins, picks, AFC contenders and pretenders. We're going to get into all that in about 30 seconds. Welcome into the DNVR Broncos Podcast presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a $5 bet to get $200 in bonus bets. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're here in the Toyota Lounge. You guys are in the Toyota chat. I'm Henry Chisholm, and we don't have Ryan today because he forgot that because of Monday Night Football, there's a Friday show, so we scheduled something else for this morning. We don't have Zach today because he's not. I didn't realize that. He's unwell.
And suffering from migraines.
Yes.
Much like Terrell Davis.
So I bet he could probably come back and fake doing a show, but he would not be capable of doing the show.
Like he could spit out a tweet. He could spit out a tweet and be like, I'm on this, check it out. That would be TD running the fake and then the Elway boot.
I hope everybody gets that reference. They better.
Guys,
I think our audience now skews a little bit younger.
It's a Broncos reference.
Yeah.
Let's all, after this show, maybe on the same platform you are watching said show, perchance YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube.com, the YouTube app, whatever you do. Let's inform ourselves. Let's do a little Super Bowl 32 highlights, or the Terrell Davis of football life. They cover that well. That would be a good one.
Very good. Yes.
I was a Derek Lavelle guy, but then I looked it up. Vernon Herber was actually the only guy who came in with. I probably almost certainly butchered that name. As you know, I'm name blind.
Carolina says everyone gets the reference. Move on.
If
you want moving on, this might not be the day for you.
Ah, shoot. Okay.
The pacing on these tends to go a bit slow.
But I enjoy, if we have someone directing us on pace, maybe that will go a long way for us.
Let's give that job to Carolina. Whenever we get a little bit bored, we stick on one thing. We trust you, Carolina, to let us know and move us along.
For audio-only listeners or off-platform, could you explain we're not referring to a state?
Right. This is just normal Carolina. A person.
It's a commenter in the Toyota chat. Yes, exactly. I hope Carolina enjoys that we are moving on and not taking an extra 5 minutes to merely unpack their comment, as I do not assume.
That is true.
You assume
his or her
because Carolina strikes you as a female name.
Which is...
We could do the full hour like this, okay? Do not dare us. Don't you dare
One more thing. So, Caroline...
I'm Andre Simone, by the way.
Yes, I think I said
I would like to say...
I think I said
hi, folks.
They named it Carolina after somebody named Caroline. So Carolina wasn't actually a name. So you're kind of taking the... it doesn't make sense. It's like naming yourself after a nickname instead of the... But we thank you, Carolina, for letting us know.
It'd be like us renaming Colorado Hankville.
Yeah.
And then Yaya would be like, fun fact, his name was Henry.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a lot to talk about.
A billion years from now.
We're going to be talking about... We did the cold open. You know what we're talking about.
Thanks, AK-47.
Evan Engram, back at practice yesterday.
Yeah.
Big news.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Big tight end.
Where are we at with Evan Engram? When I say Evan Engram's playing this week, more than likely, do you say, oh, good, the Broncos offense is fixed, or like, what's the vibe there?
It's more of a good for Evan Engram. We need him. Running a lot of 2 tight end sets.
Right.
And 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. That I think with Engram he's your joker. Mm-hmm. He can make 11 personnel feel like 4 wides. He can make 2 tight end sets, 21 personnel, feel like 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver sets because of that joker versatility. So in that, I think he'll be good. Concerning early part of the season, nothing more, the injuries especially, but even not the cleanest, soundest play.
Nope.
I also don't know that he's been targeted a ton. I expected him to maybe be a bit more of a focal point of the offense.
Yep.
I don't know if this is the week that happens, returning from injury. But good to have him out there. Good to have as many, veteran skill players as possible. And I mean, on the field, he does just look different. There aren't many able pass catchers who look like that, move like that at that size.
Right. And, let's go this way with it. So Anthony Reinhard posted a cool little graphic today, essentially showing different personnel. So it's every team. And that it breaks the Broncos down by 11 personnel, a running back and a tight end and 3 receivers.
Nice.
12 personnel, running back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and kind of goes through and then shows how defenses are defending each of those personnels. And so as you'd expect, when the Broncos are in 11 personnel, you see more dime than the league average. When the Broncos are in 12 personnel, you see more nickel than the league average. And that's because teams have to treat Evan Engram as a receiver. Now, because he hasn't been on the field all that much, we haven't seen like the insane splits for these yet. But that's the bind that Sean Payton is trying to put the defense in.
Yep.
Is saying, we've got a tight end. Are you going to match him with a linebacker or corner? And now you would hope that if they say we're going to match him with a corner or safety, then he'd be able to block his way into a good matchup, be able to take that guy out. And that piece, you know what? Blocking safeties, he's more than capable of. Beating linebackers, he's good at. We just haven't been able to see the Broncos kind of get into a rhythm using him in that way and seeing him exploit matchups. I'm curious to see this all play out, though, because in a lot of ways it feels like, although Evan Engram has been on the field a little bit, we just haven't. Nothing's happened. That story hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, for sure. Aside from the small notes of like, wow, he's injured already. Geez, what was he thinking on that penalty?
Yeah.
A
missed block. A good block, too.
Not been more featured in the offense.
Right. I remember one third down conversion. I think it was like a 3rd and 5 in week 1 where they got it to him. And it's like, oh, there it is. That's what you need. And I hope that that's kind of what you see first from Evan is on those third downs, he's able to essentially play like a slot receiver and get you the 5 yards when you need him, the 4 yards when you need him, the 6 yards when you need. And the other piece of that is the Broncos need to be in more 3rd and 4s and 3rd and 5s because when you're in the 3rd and 12s, you kind of just have to throw it off the boundary and hope Court bails you out.
3rd and long, not a recipe for success for any team.
No.
3rd down in general, not a recipe for success.
No. And I'd say
best offenses avoid 3rd down as often as possible.
That's kind of their big thing. Yeah. And I think for tight ends in particular, 3rd and long is not where they thrive. So
it's true.
I hope that we start to see this get going, but I can't say that I think because Evan's back, the offense totally changes just because I was a little bit underwhelmed with what we saw.
Yeah, for sure. And yet when Engram was out last week, I guess I wasn't surprised, but I found it fairly notable that Sean was still employing plenty of multiple tight end sets.
Right.
And just still really riding Kroll, Troutman. Love to see Adkins a little more, but that's a side note.
Hopefully easing in.
That's a you and me thing.
That probably is. I thought he'd have a little bit bigger role.
And then in those sets, I also think when you're masquerading, I was seeing more tight 11 personnel sets where you're using Sherfield as a blocker.
Right. Or Court, too, sometimes.
Yep. So it's that slot receiver who's playing so close to the line of scrimmage. And this is an old McVay's basically doing this all the time in that offense. That is how they run. They run 11 personnel, but they really ask a lot of block out of their receivers. And Sherfield's done a really nice job of that. So I wonder, does that continue more? Do you, with Engram in the mix, are you going to more Engram and a second tight end? Who's that second tight end going to be? Will it be Troutman? Will that trend continue? Will Kroll get more touches? Will Adkins get more touches? And in general, can he exploit this Cincinnati defense, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't exactly the most exotic?
You are not mistaken.
You're going to get a lot of base looks, and Engram might have some nice matchups just one-on-one against the linebacker, against the safety, against the nickel corner. That might be fairly easy for Bo to dissect and get out.
Yeah, I think so.
Is this the game you could get him going? Hopefully.
I would hope so as well. I think, we do the watch along, which you guys should watch. Monday night, we're going to be live for a half hour before the game, during the entire game, do post-game show after.
Expect me on there.
I think Evan Engram is probably what I'm going to circle. That's where every snap I want to watch him, because to me, the Joker isn't just like what he does on any given play, like winning a matchup. It's how he changes how a defense guards you. And I want to see that piece get figured out.
Yeah.
Like, are you motioning him out to when he doesn't have the matchup you want in the run game? Are you motioning back in when he doesn't? Like, are you finding ways to manipulate the numbers in the box and like the weight in the box? Yeah. And again, just with the injuries and stuff, they just haven't been able to kind of get that piece going. And I think the run game in general, How much can you stress that middle back seven group of defenders with your Engram usage to open up more one-on-one opportunities for your outside guys, particularly the speedy outside guys who you hope can stretch the field, and what have you, and Mims and Troy Franklin. Right. It reminds me, Broncos, Sean Payton loves to use the heavy personnel, get an extra offensive lineman in there. It hasn't gone all that great, though. Like, if you go through the numbers, I think last week in particular, essentially whenever the Broncos went to that, the Chargers would just throw a run blitz at them, and it would just get stuffed right there because you're kind of tipping your hand that you're trying to run the football.
Well, and that's how you counter it, right? It's like, you're going heavier, you're sacrificing a pass catcher for a blocker. Cool, we will commit one more defender to that guy. And they're losing that equation, which is not ideal.
And when that one defender is Derwin James, we saw what happened. And so
which also, I think, important caveat.
Yes.
There aren't a ton of guys like Derwin James. Yeah.
Exactly. But just these pieces of the running game, we've seen the flashes. It's just figuring out what your formula is, because I think the shotgun runs generally have gone pretty well. I think the under center runs, when you haven't been tipping your hand too much, have gone pretty well. There's still some bad plays. T.R. Tart had a great game against Quinn Miners. That's something you just don't expect to see very often and hope that it's kind of a fluke. But there have been kind of examples of those sorts of things that have knocked him back as well. Obviously, the Colts defensive front caused some troubles at various points too. So I think that Evan Engram can help you in the run game just because of what it forces the middle of your defense to think about.
Great point.
And how you can manipulate them, pull somebody out of the box and create a numbers advantage, pull somebody to the other side. And I just want to leave Monday's game not just thinking like, oh, look, the Broncos are way better than the Bengals, but you're using the tools that you have to manipulate the defense and create opportunities for your running backs or for whoever it may be. And I think that in a get-right game like this, that's very possible.
So I kind of unpack how it impacts the passing game. I love that you circled back to, that's true. The greater impact on the offense is that as well.
Absolutely. And I think we should talk about some J.K. Dobbins stuff too before we get into that, though.
Yeah, run game, stopping the run, running the ball, kind of a key to this one.
Absolutely. Before we get into that, though, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at well, actually, do you want to take this one? You take this one. You take this one. These are your guys.
I was gonna jump in.
Yeah, these are your guys.
This one's mine.
That is yours.
Colorado Soccer Association. That's right, folks. It's the official hub for 65 plus soccer clubs across our beautiful state, offering programs for youth players, adult leagues, coaches, referees, families who want to get involved in the game. Great spot. Kids can kick off their soccer journey as early as the age of 3. Beautiful thing, whether you're playing for fun, competing at the highest level, or exploring a career in soccer, there's something for everyone. Like you want to become a referee, I think is what they're getting.
Oh,
yeah.
I could be a referee. I'd have to figure out the whole offsides thing, but
I think your betting history might complicate that.
That's true. I could make some money, though.
Right. They don't want that from their refs.
Oh, okay.
So if you want a legitimate organization, go with these guys.
Right.
You want Hank getting money under the table, rigging games as your referee, you can hit him up as DMs are open.
Yeah.
Be part of history. 2026, man. We're all getting hyped for this. World Cup coming. You've got the NWSL, our Denver Summit FC. It's all coming together. We are a soccer state, and we're only amping that up more and more. And CSA is a big part of that. Want to get involved? Visit coloradosoccer.org to find a club near you and be part of the future of the sport.
Also, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. You mentioned that I do have a betting history. Monarch Money,
Totes.
Incredible for people like that, because sometimes you hit a big win, like the back-to-back-to-back home runs that the Rockies had that made me some money.
Of course.
It's good to know exactly where things stand, so that you can, say like, okay, this much goes to the retirement account, this much goes to like a savings account, this much goes to the Nike store, for example. And Monarch Money is just the best. They are the easiest way to keep all of your accounts in one place. You can link them all in minutes. It's super easy. They get all the visuals so that you can see it. You don't have to like think about the numbers, do a bunch of math. They categorize your spending so you can see where all your money is going. You don't need to track every dollar, but ignoring your finances entirely can cost you, and that's where they step in. Best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. All sorts of other awards as well. So go check it out. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. All right. Back in the DNVR Broncos podcast presented by Bet365. Carolina compared me to MPJ. Probably because of my height and my jumper.
MPJ. Well, Carolina's mixing up Porter brothers.
Oh, John.
The betting scandal.
Right.
LeJonte, I want to say?
No, just Jonte.
John.
Yeah.
Silly me.
LeJonte,
Carolina, how are you feeling about the pacing so far?
Yeah, give us a little update.
A little silliness 5 minutes in, but I think we're getting there, right? We're getting there. You want to talk some run game? Let's talk some
honestly,
run
that
game.
might have been a little too dense. As I've been saying,
Fair enough. We love it.
Repeatedly, because I love this stat so much, Clinton Portis, or J.K. Dobbins on pace for the most rushing yards by a Broncos running back since Clinton Portis in 2003. Getting a little bit skewed because he had the long catch on the swing pass that was backwards, so it's technically a run. But still, I love
Back
the stat.
in the day, I don't think they were doing that with Clinton Portis.
Probably not.
I think a pass was a pass back then.
Yes, right.
Yep.
Somebody told a story about appealing one of those.
But obviously a toss, they were counted.
I want to say Demaryius Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders had an appeal to like the official stats.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get to 1,000 yards on the season, and one of the passes was a screen that was backwards, and they were able to say like, "Hey, just call this one a pass," and they did.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, when millions of dollars are on the line.
Absolutely.
Bonuses and stuff.
Nobody wants rushing yards.
Crazy that's the case.
Yeah.
And averaging only, 14 carries per game? Very low number.
Right. And I think that's kind of the kicker here, is that it's so...
it is.
It's so efficient. You're not running him into the ground to make this happen.
No, not at all.
You're kind of keeping him in a good spot. I'd be curious to see, I can pull it up, where he ranks in terms of carries in the NFL, but it's not I would imagine not that high up there.
I can tell you is 9th in rushing yards off the dome.
Pretty good.
Very good.
Yep.
Especially considering carries wise. I will tell you in just a moment.
Again, when's the last time the Broncos had top 10 rusher?
I mean, forget it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Phil squeaked over 1,000, but I don't think that was good enough for top 10. Maybe no, Sean?
In carries, he's tied for 21st with Derrick Henry. And he is 9th in rushing yards.
Yeah. I mean, then Derrick would have had a couple more if he hadn't fumbled those ones away. Kind of shot himself in the foot there. But yeah, I feel good about JK. And I think I trust the production. I trust that when he's available, he can be this guy. And I even think that there's kind of another level. I think that there are some plays out there where he is one tackle away, or more so, he's a block away, is what I'm seeing more often than him not breaking a tackle himself, although there are a couple of those. And that's why I think that there may even be a little bit more upside. The thing that you will just never trust is that he's going to be on the field any given week because of the injury history. But as long as he's out there and running like this, it feels like the Broncos might might have the guy that they've kind of been looking for quite a while.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing more of, and you were all over this in the preseason as kind of a key to the J.K. Dobbins experience. We're seeing the breakaway. You know, he's being able to make, first off, he's a very decisive runner.
He is.
I think that's where, like, when you give him the ball those 14 times a game, mostly positive things are occurring.
Yeah.
He's getting downhill. He's getting positive yardage. He works for the extra yardage. But what we have seen is when he has those opportunities, he's able to get to the second level and then break one even farther.
Yep.
And that's been a really nice bonus. Now, as you alluded to in the offseason, is that sustainable?
Yeah.
Is the wear and tear going to make that so that it's not necessarily the case in the second half of the season or even in the second half of the first part of the season,
right.
Like durability is a thing. And I saw a lot of comments when we were talking about Engram, people saying like, I never got the hype about Engram because his injury history and how many good seasons, he's had one good season in his entire NFL career. Well, geez, if you felt like that about Evan Engram, how did you feel about J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah.
So, I have some concerns on sustainability. I believe the last time the Broncos had a top 9 rusher in the NFL is 2017 C.J. Anderson, 1,007 yards. I mean, barely squeaked over 1,000 yards.
Yeah. For reference,
that's the peak of like running game being dead.
It is
2017.
That really is.
Kareem Hunt led the NFL with 1,300 yards.
45 touches for Dobbins so far this season. At this point last year with the Chargers, he was at 49. So it's a touchdown, but not significantly, or as significantly as I had hoped. But yeah, I think it's the wide zone running that they're doing as well just fits him so perfectly. 'Cause the thing about watching the Broncos running backs last year is occasionally they would miss a hole, and you'd be like, why did you go that way when you could have gone the other way? But for the most part, you looked at it and said, like, it feels like they went to the right spot, just didn't really work. And so why is the offensive line being graded this way? Like, what is going wrong here? When you watch Dobbins, there's so many plays where, if he's trying to hit, let's just say it's A gap right here on the right side, he'll lean over to the A gap on the left side, pull the defense over, that defensive tackle start leaning that way, and then he can burst right through, and he makes that hole bigger because of the way that he runs. He has such a good feel for that. And then knowing when it's time to say, okay, hole's open, bang, let's go. And so I really like what I'm seeing. I think at the very least, he's just a veteran running back who is going to maximize what this offensive line gives him. And whether he has the breakaway speed, whether he can turn a 25-yarder into a 70-yarder, we'll see. Like we've seen some big plays, and a lot of that's just been well blocked or well set up by him, setting up even the blockers at the second level.
No, you're right. It's not enough. Earth-shattering.
It's not Saquon.
We're talking about the Broncos backfield in these terms a lot in the offseason of like, can you replicate a kind of running back pairing that's similar to a Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara?
Right.
He has very much looked the part of Mark Ingram.
And I think important to note, Mark Ingram was his mentor. Because Mark Ingram was the running back with the Ravens when he was drafted. He still brings up, Mark Ingram, that was my guy. I still talk to him. Like he taught me all the things I know. So there's a reason you see some Mark Ingram there.
No doubt. And then, as I was alluding before the break, I think this battle between the two running backs here in this game will be key. And everyone's super hyped about Chase Brown after week 1, right? Because he got people fantasy touchdown, 21 carries, 43 yards. He has been abysmal since then.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely horrendous. 47 carries, which is 5 more than JK, and only 93 yards, a paltry 2 yards per carry.
And last week, the 10 carries for 3 yards. That's a tough number. Yeah,
pretty legendary. And so again, like this is the kind of game. Forget everything else. JK outproduces Chase Brown, I think you're going to have a good day.
Yeah.
Your run D can outrun D the Bengals, shaky defense. You're gonna have a good day.
Yeah, I had fun. I've been talking to some Bengals people this week, Bengals puppets as well this week.
Puppets,
yeah, all sorts of Bengals representatives, and I asked them about Chase Brown, and the answer, they never really have strong feelings. Like because last year there was the excitement, there was a belief that he could be this guy. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really matter because the offensive line's so bad. It's just we don't know if he's any good or not because they just can't get anything done. Again, I mean, that has to be the case when you're averaging 0.3 carries on double-digit carries in a single game. That's ridiculous. So we can transition to some more of the Bengals stuff here, I guess. But to me, you don't have to sell out to stop this run game. You should be able to just take your kind of base game plan here.
Great point.
I fear getting a little bit too conservative. I fear sitting back a little bit too much allows Jake Browning to kind of get into a rhythm, start hitting the receivers. You give him some time, let him get comfortable. We've seen that he can play pretty well. And so I don't want to say you just sit back, stay over the top, don't allow any big plays, because that to me is a recipe for a lot of completions. And I think Jake Browning might be a guy who can lead a 10-play scoring drive if you make it too easy on him.
It's also not how this Broncos defense is built or plays.
Right.
Like, you can't just be aggressive against Mahomes and Herbert and all these other guys and then, Jake Browning, no, we're going to play conservative. No, that's the guy you go extra aggressive against.
Exactly.
If your philosophy is we're going to make that guy beat us on our terms, well, you better really embrace that against Jake Browning.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the time to lean into that more than ever. Yeah, man, 100%. I think that's definitely a key here is you got to be aggressive. This poor Bengals media you're talking to. They can't have a lot of strong opinions on anything right now.
No. They aren't big Bo Nix believers. The puppets were, I guess you might have seen. But
of course they're not.
I spent a lot of time with the puppets talking about why they want Russell Wilson so bad. And that's where they are right now. And, I mean, they make the case as well as you can make the case. We have T. Higgins, we have Jamar Chase. We just need somebody who can throw the ball really far up the sideline. It's like, I guess maybe if that's all you're looking for, then it could be a fit. But they're just stuck.
Yeah.
And
they're very one-dimensional. Right. I mean, they don't have a great O-line. They don't have a great tight end. Mm-hmm. It's... let's drop back 45 times, let Joe Burrow do some sick stuff and hit our wide receivers. And once you're missing that, there's very little there as far as a plan B to lean back on.
Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit more about these receivers and the Broncos cornerbacks in these matchups. But first, got to give a shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. Everybody loves Taco Bell. There's nobody I've ever met who says, like, no, I don't want Taco Bell. Even my friends. So I'm going to Montana this weekend, for example, for the big top 10 FCS matchup, 8:15 tomorrow night against Idaho.
Grizz up.
Catch it on ESPN2. It's a big game.
Hell yeah. Though again, we watch it however you please. ESPN doesn't pay us money.
Right. But if you are going to...
it's just a program.
Illegally
It's just a program. Well, we're not encouraging that either.
No, we don't do that either.
We're not encouraging that either.
No, all we're encouraging is Taco Bell. And even my health-conscious friends who spend every day climbing mountains.
He's so back.
All that sort of stuff. We will be going to get Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That guy does IVs of Taco Bell after a hike.
Might as well. Just inject it right in there. I'm excited. Taco Bell is a staple. Going back to my college Taco Bells, that's obviously an emotional place for anybody. But for me in particular. Oh, absolutely.
You enter and tear up a little bit?
Well, you imagine like the Taco Bells you went to in college. Going back there, there's your old stomping grounds.
Yeah. Gunnison's a different place.
Gunnison
I don't know that I tear up. But I appreciate that for you going to Taco Bell in Montana is like for me when I first fly over the Alps when I arrive in Italy.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I had time for all my Taco Bell stories. But Taco Bell is a proud partner of CU Athletics, donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored in 2025. Go Buffs, Lib Moss.
What if we just pivoted and made segment 3 Taco Bell stories?
I have one good one.
I feel like we've hit the Bengals stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friends at Toyota. Toyota, the best car out there. Boy, anyone at DNVR who drives a Toyota, they swear by it. It's probably because between the reliability, what great homies they are, all the trucks, SUV options, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive options they have, they are the perfect Colorado car, the perfect family car, the perfect car to where you started driving a Toyota when you were in college, hitting the Taco Bells in Montana. Next thing you know, you're a big swinging D covering the Broncos on a podcast every day, and that everything's changed about you except for that Toyota. Old, reliable, sticking with you. That's what a Toyota is. That's why anyone who drives a Toyota at DNVR swears by it. Did I say that part already? Damn it, Henry. I need you locked in. I need you locked in. Yaya's not locked in either. I can see him right now. You want to lock in on a Toyota today. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder. Groove Toyota in Littleton. Mountain States Toyota in Denver. Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora. Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Toyota. Let's go places.
One of my Taco Bell stories. There's a very particular Taco Bell.
Yeah. Carolina, I want you to lock in. This is going to be a good one, okay?
We were in college, of course, and so we gone to a movie. And after the movie, what do? You go and you go to Taco Bell. And I got pulled over for suspicion of driving drunk.
Oh my gosh!
But I wasn't drunk. I was just eating a burrito while I was driving, and there was nobody else on the road, so I was swerving a little bit. And that officer, when the first 3 words came out of my mouth, and he realized what was going on, he was just like, oh, he had to like go through the steps of like, well, can I see your license? And it's like, yeah, sure, you can see my license. Obviously, I was just eating a burrito though.
Right. You accidentally pass over some fire sauce.
Happened 3 times that summer. Not once was I driving under the influence, but they never got but no, I never did. It's just that I was such a bad / distracted driver. Not like cell phone or anything, but burritos or like kind of dazing off.
2 questions.
They thought, yeah.
They never suspected once that you were washing off the booze with some T-Bell?
Well, I think they probably suspected exactly that, but I wasn't.
Gotcha.
Which was very clear when they spoke to me, and they're like, oh, yeah.
Question number 2.
Yes.
Did you ever consider enjoying the Taco Bell in the parking lot?
I mean, plenty of times, yes. Okay. I don't know why that particular time.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta get back on Jamar
track.
Chase, T. Higgins,
great pace.
Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
Actually, I wrote about this last night. Go check it out. DNVR.com.
Yes.
Pat Surtain
feels incredible sale going on.
Right.
Incredible sale going on.
Don't miss it. There might not be another.
$36. New hats dropped.
Let me throw some numbers at you.
Branded Bills DNVR hats and Broncos colors.
Yes.
You might want to check it out.
Is that a Cubs hat?
It's a Colorado flag hat.
Oh, it's just without the colors. The C is very similar to the
close up on
Cubs.
This. I don't want to be accused of wearing a Cubs hat.
No, that would be.
That's a Colorado flag, you guys. Good job, yeah.
So Jamar Chase, Pat Surtain have played twice in the NFL. First one was the end of their rookie years. Surtain was only on Chase for 10 routes. Quarterback never threw the ball that way. So there's a win for Surtain, although small sample size. Second time was late last season. This time Surtain was matched up on Jamar Chase 38 times. Quarterback threw the ball that way 6 times, caught it 3 times for 27 yards. That's another win. Just for perspective, if you look at Jamar Chase last season, on average, if he just ran 38 routes, you'd expect 8 targets, 6 catches, 98 yards, 0.8 of a touchdown. So probably a touchdown. So again, that's 6 catches, 8 targets, 98 yards, 0.8 of a touchdown versus what actually happened, 3 catches on 6 targets, 27 yards. That's a pretty massive win for Pat Surtain. There was the clip that came out over the summer of Jamar Chase working with other receivers, including Cortland Sutton.
Yes.
Asking Chad Ochocinco, what do you do to beat Pat Surtain? And whatever Ochocinco came up with, Jamar said, no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. How confident are you coming into this matchup?
I mean, with Browning at quarterback, pretty confident. In fact, I think it's one of those that you have to win coming into this game. That should be the goal, is come through and win that matchup. They also had some pretty epic matchups in college as well.
Yeah, they did.
I would actually argue Jamar Chase might
probably,
and the poor decision by the Carolina Panthers might be why Pat Surtain even dropped to the 9th overall pick.
Our second favorite Carolina, to be clear.
Yes, Carolina in the Toyota chat.
Yes. I haven't heard in a while. Hopefully you're still there.
Easily number one in our hearts. So yeah, that's it's a big matchup. It's a marquee matchup. These are two of the best players in the NFL, period. Without Burrow in this game, it loses a little bit of the shine, but watching those two go against each other is going to be a treat. And then, I mean, Riley Moss against T. Higgins. That's a big one, too.
That is. And I think, again, so Saturday you watch college football, and they'll be playing the ads on all the ABC, ESPN games, and they're going to be playing all the ads for Monday Night Football. And I think when they chose this game, they expected the ads to be Joe Burrow versus Bo Nix. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow, his leg died, and Bo Nix hasn't played all that well. So I do think that we're going to be seeing a lot of Jamar Chase versus Pat Surtain. And I hope they get into the history of these matchups, because this really is like part 3 here. If Pat wins a third time, that's pretty crazy to go 3-0 against the guy. I mean, he's the third receiver this century to win the Triple Crown, to lead the NFL in receiving yards, catches, and receiving touchdowns. It's only happened 5 times since the NFL became the NFL, with the AFL included, with Super Bowl, all that. Jamar Chase is a dominant receiver, and to see this happen is ridiculous. Is there any thought given to double team Jamar, Riley underneath, safety over the top, and just play Pat on T. Higgins, and you feel like you'd probably just erase him?
I think that's what Belichick would do.
I think so too.
Yep.
It's just so hard to commit when we've seen Pat play so well against Jamar in the past.
Yeah, but that's a way of going a little more conservative, right? Where going a bit more conservative, we were talking about that might be part of the game plan, but you don't want to do that as far as your rush plan necessarily on a defense. That would be one way to go a little more conservative on it. I don't know, though.
I know. It's tough.
It's such a marquee matchup, you know.
You're right.
Like, doesn't that just work all the same if you go with double T?
Potentially. But, I mean, you rarely see the double team the number 2.
Yeah.
And just go one-on-one on the other side. And there's a reason for that. It's kind of a crazy decision to make. But I worry a lot about Riley against T. Higgins. And, you know what? I said on the postgame show last week
I agree.
that Riley's stock is down, and part of the reason I feel that way was because I was still so high on him. I take that back. His stock is not down at all. He's the most targeted cornerback in the NFL. The pass rating against him, Luca from the Denver Post, I think, was the first one to kind of go back, look through there. 80 pass rating when targeted this season. And we've all seen how close he's been to knocking a couple others away. The results are good. If you're the Broncos and the other team throws at Riley every single play, and what happens is what's happened through the first 3 weeks, you're going to win just about every single game that you play the rest of the season. Yeah. And so I want to take that back. Riley's having a good year, just isn't having a great year. And he's inches away from having a lot more production there. But this is the toughest, the two toughest matchups of his season back to back, with T. Higgins this week and Devontae Smith next week.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be really telling for him.
100%. I think he's playing pretty good coverage. He's also he's allowing more yards than you'd hope. And he also is playing arguably one of the handful of toughest jobs in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
Which is, playing outside corner opposite Pat Surtain.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big challenge. The thing about playing, pretty immaculate coverage and still giving up yardage is the quarterbacks are making pretty pinpoint passes.
Yep.
That trend's got to end.
You would think.
You're committing a lot up front to get pressure on quarterbacks. I think they're getting pressure. They're getting hands on quarterbacks. I don't know that they're tipping balls, rushing throws, knocking guys down at the rate that maybe you'd like. And that would help the DBs who are being put in these tougher one-on-one, situations. And
it is a lot.
That's also going to be a key here. Is like how much can you exploit that O-line? How much can you really rattle Jake Browning?
Nick Benito's had a lot of plays. You're like, oh, he was a quarter second away from getting that sack. But there hasn't been a lot of he's hitting him as he throws the ball.
Yes,
and those are important.
Against Daniel Jones, I swear they're getting a hand on, just reaching
right
out
there.
and touching, almost every single play, especially the first half. Yet Daniel Jones hardly had any completions.
He just doesn't care.
He was just. At some point, that trend needs to kind of start coming back your way.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Ooh.
I don't think Daniel Jones is the smartest quarterback in the NFL.
Nice.
And I don't think he ranks highly on the list either. And I think that sometimes, my dumbest friends are the ones who just are unfazed by the dangers of life.
Yeah.
And I think that Daniel Jones might just be a bit oblivious to what exactly was about to happen to him on some of those plays.
And in some ways, it's like, okay,
so I'm just there to throw the ball.
That
If I'm not hit, then
that's my read against the man beater. Yep.
Meanwhile, there's some of those guys where there's information coming from everywhere. Joe Burrow knows, oh, this guy's right on my back. Do I make it? I think that there's some of it where it's just that's your golden retriever with a big arm, and he's doing all the right things. Easy transition here. We can start real quick. AFC pretenders and contenders. Unless you have any other big Bengals thoughts before the game, I think we kind of covered it.
No.
Bo Nix, you worried? Can be quick. All the Bo Nix questions, it depends on how you phrase them too.
Long-term concerns, not so much, though it's been a mixed bag early on, and we're obviously in a key 3-year stretch of really assessing Bo Nix's long-term viability as an elite quarterback in this league.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know Daniel Jones, but I watched the Manning cast.
I wish he wouldn't have, especially some of those long bombs. I think, as we were talking about the run game earlier, Bo does throw it a bit better on the move. In against the Colts, 2 of his best throws came there, and I don't think those were designs, but they were more Bo just having a scramble from pressure. I think if you could establish the run, which again, we've kind of talked about feeling like a key in this game, then you could establish a bit of a play action boot game off that run, get Bo on the move more and get his confidence going. I just think there's some inconsistencies with the lower half, which is what you get with Bo, and it's more him picking his spots of when do I need to go off platform and off balance, and when do I need to just plant my foot and not get too fancy with it. One of
the big conversations has been that the offense just doesn't have an identity right now.
Yeah.
And I think one of the pieces of that puzzle is that the things that they're doing just don't quite line up in a way that's creating that work together. That was a big conversation at the Bengals, actually, the past couple of years. The Joe Burrow shotgun passing game was good. Obviously, great. The under center running game was pretty good, but the shotgun passing game wasn't really working, or shotgun run game wasn't really working. The under center passing game wasn't really there. That's not really what Joe Burrow does. And so they're having trouble kind of combining the two pieces that really worked well, which was running from under center, passing from the shotgun. And I think there's some of that with the Broncos right now. We talk about you bring the extra lineman in. It's like you're kind of telegraphing the run. Is there a way to take advantage? The run game in general they start getting run blitzed a lot because there's so much of it. Their blitz is to take away the RPO, sending an extra guy or read options. So if Bo pulls it, which is the correct read, there's a guy right there to blitz. And they try to counter that with the screens, which is why you see so many screens, which drives people crazy. I get it. But there's a reason. The reason is because we're trying to run the ball and try to get them out of these run blitzes. But those screens aren't working. The passing game, you're just having trouble merging the different things so that the defense feels like they're defending two things at once. And I think if you just lean into the wide zone play action, that might make sense. And I got scared off a little bit after what happened the first week. We saw Bo get hot early, but also miss some of those throws. He looked frantic. I think you got to get back to that. And I think this is a week where whatever you pick to do, you should be able to do well against the Bengals. But it kind of sets this identity and shows other teams you have to worry about these things. So you're picking, what do we want the Eagles next week to be worried that we're going to do?
Yeah, they're not feeling like a super multiple offense right now. They're kind of feeling like let's see what Bo Nix can pull out of his hat offense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a tough spot. I think we're going to learn a lot about the Broncos on Monday. And if not, there's trouble. Before we get into some more of our bigger AFC West talk, AFC West picks for this game, need to give out. Actually, we don't have shout-outs for our friends. We have a shout-out for us.
Yes.
And a reminder that there's so much good stuff. I wrote probably too much, broke down every drive of the Broncos game against the Chargers with all the different data about the play calling decisions, whether Sean made the right decision to run on a 1st and 20. And the answer is yes, you do run on 1st and 20, even though it's counterintuitive. More often than not, it leads to you picking up the first down. A whole bunch of that sort of stuff. Go check out. There's so much stuff on that website. So become a diehard. And if you do become a diehard, you get a free hat, which you saw there. It's a cool hat. A bunch of different perks. So go check that out. Also, make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're watching this. And we can. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Donate. Become
just a few more days left for September to do the whole fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Awesome organization. We're gonna have Javon from them, who was a little and has been a big, which is super cool. He's gonna be on the watch along. He's a Denver guy through and through. We're gonna have them at the watch party here, so you get to meet him, get you signed up, do some donations that way. But I mean, just an incredible organization, incredible opportunity to give back to our community that we hold so dear, and the youth in our community who obviously are our future. So there's a fundraiser button right there on the stream. Please give what you can. As Carolina says, they do amazing work. They've been incredible to work with, and all proceeds go to them, which is really cool.
Carolina
Montoya. It's a good point. I never even noticed. I mean, when Carolina's comments came up, I only heard them through Hank. So I blame Hank for that one.
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's hit our picks first, and then whatever time is left, Contenders, Pretenders.
Yeah.
So we typically do picks for this game first. You won't be on the graphic.
What's your record?
Good question, Yaya.
Because you were getting real hype for your record.
I think I went 0-3 last week. We'll see that next. Score predictions. Do you have predictions from the other guys yet? Okay.
You did? You went 0-3 last week?
Yeah, I had.
Damn it!
That was my last week of being a Raiders believer. We'll talk about the Raiders in a second. Bengals, Broncos. I've got the Broncos winning. Let's just go 34-13. 34-13 will be my score prediction.
So they cover the spread easy, huh?
Very easy. Other way around, actually, Broncos winning. Yeah. Okay.
I'll go 28-14.
Okay.
Broncos. They cover the 7.5 point spread. Easy peasy. Do I think a bit of a boa constrictor game? Like probably a smidge closer early on than people expect. Broncos Twitter melting
Slow
down
start,
halfway through the second
they
quarter.
Love that.
And then boa constrictor analogy by the end of it, and all is well.
All right. Looks like Zach is taking the Broncos 27-13.
Nice.
31-14 for Ryan. So I'm the optimist of the group.
That's great, man.
Picks for the rest of the AFC West. We've got a few games going on.
Yeah, what direction you want to go?
First one, we've got Chargers and Giants.
6.5 point road favorites. The Chargers are. Jackson Dart making his first start in this one. Big Frank.
You probably have to go Chargers even with the points.
Traveling west to east.
I believe is this
we have an international game alert?
I believe international game alert.
Stop.
No, I was wrong. This one is not international game alert. In New York, I think the Giants have a chance in this game. I'm going to start with that. Sounds like Malik Neighbors is going to play. At the same time, you have to pick the Chargers. I got too cute last week. It's the Chargers here.
These aren't ATS?
No.
Yikes.
No, that's what makes the challenge. You got to call your upsets.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Giants could cover. It's just Jackson Dart, a rookie quarterback in his first start against Harbaugh. Ultimately, the Chargers get the win.
Yeah. Chicago at we'll hit their picks at the end. Chicago at Vegas. This is going to be disgusting to watch.
The Ben Johnson Bowl, kind of the revenge game for the Raiders being spurred by old BJ.
Yeah,
who chose the Bears.
Right. I coming into the season, I was a Raiders believer. I thought that they were going to be like a frisky team, probably get 8-9 wins. I thought that offense with, Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers is some decent weapons for Geno Smith, who has found a way to be successful recently. Genty there, but they're just not good. I mean, that offensive line is not good. Geno has a tendency to take sacks himself. You put it behind that line, he's just going to take a beating. He's going to make mistakes. This offense is not good. The defense obviously isn't good, but the Bears aren't good either. Who did they take? They're split, so it doesn't help. Give me the Bears. I'll take the Bears here.
I think the Raiders get them.
Okay. I've got Bears.
Going an AFC West sweep, I fear.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then Baltimore at Kansas City is the other.
Rare road home underdogs.
Very rare.
Yeah, so
very rare road home underdogs.
The Chiefs are home underdogs. Yeah, I screwed that up by saying rare. Both. That is super rare when you say it incorrectly.
Yeah.
They got to get off the schneid sooner or later. I guess it doesn't help that the Ravens are also 1-2.
They also have to get off the schneid.
Also have to get off the schneid.
Can't say schneid in the Invisalign.
Yeah, no, you can't.
That's a real shame.
I mean, so the odds makers are telling you in a neutral field, the Ravens would be 5.5 point favorites.
Isn't it usually a 3-point swing? Neutral.
Yeah, they're 2.5 point favorites. So neutral, they'd be 5.5.
Oh, right. I went the wrong way.
Really, I could argue you need to add 6 to Baltimore.
And I would say Baltimore is far more explosive. I wouldn't be surprised if
they are the far better team.
If they're the only team that scores in the first quarter, I won't be surprised. Like the Chiefs are just not. Where's the juice? The juice is literally just the quarterback at this point, and that's why I think I have to go Ravens here, even though I don't like it. It feels scary. I think the Ravens, despite the way that they've been playing, losing games, that offense is just unstoppable unless they stop themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic Princess Bride line. It's like, are they daring me to take the Ravens? They're kind of daring me to take the Ravens.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
So I guess I'll say, no, you put the poison in your own glass. I will keep my glass. Give me the Chiefs. No, give me the Ravens.
Last second change.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this one's a blowout. I think if it's a close game.
I mean, if it's a blowout, it's a Ravens blowout,
exactly.
No doubt.
I think Ravens either blow them out or the Chiefs win it close. And I'm going.
Talk about the records too. Hank was up 3-0.
Yeah.
And I was the last.
Because I had the Broncos winning, of course. I thought the Raiders would beat whoever they played, and I've called the upset Giants over Chiefs. And that's, you go out on an island like that, but that's how you win the game. You got to call your upsets.
Wow.
The thing is that you went with like 3 upsets at once.
Yeah. So what was that? Is that 3 and 4 for RK?
Those are so
5 and
small.
4.
Hank is it's you're 4 and 5. RK is 5 and 4, and Zach is 6 and 3.
Okay. Ryan has the Chargers, Bears, Ravens, and of course Broncos. Zach has the Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, and the Broncos. So there we go.
I kind of agree with Jose. If it's close, the Ravens will choke.
I agree.
I think that's a good point.
The weird thing is the choke both times has been Derrick Henry. And I don't see him choking again, right? He's just fumbled in the final.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's tough for me.
Yeah, fair point.
Okay, we got 5 minutes left for some AFC contenders and pretenders.
Correct.
Who is... Let's start here. Easy one. Who's the number 1 contender? It's not the Chiefs, Yaya. No.
Bill, I guess you got to say Bills.
I think it probably is the Bills. And I think it's close between the Bills and the Ravens. Or
Tempted
would be,
to say the Chargers.
but the Ravens are 1 and 2. And I think there's a case for the Chargers to even be in front of the Ravens. I said before, I think to me there's 5 good teams right now. And that's the Ravens, Bills, Chargers, Colts, and Chiefs, just because I'm scared to not include the Chiefs. But they're 0 and they're 1 and 2, and
So we're in on the Colts. They're not pretenders.
I'm in.
I think I am too, and the South is going to be easy to win.
I think, and people call me crazy for saying they're going to win the division, but I just want to take that victory lap while I still can.
Well, it's the AFC South.
Exactly. I think there's a good chance that they just wind up with a 2 seed. They get an easy matchup in the first round of the playoffs at home. They win that one, and next thing you know, they're in the divisional round. And if that's the case, like that's good enough for me to say contender might be a stretch, but they're a good team. They belong. They are what they are.
Ever since that video of Stephon Diggs on the boat with Cardi B,
right,
offering the 2C to the ladies in his company,
absolutely.
Someone says 2 seed, all I hear is 2C. Which again, I did not know what that was.
Then the Invisalign probably does not help.
Oh, that's not a you thing. It's a my brain thing.
Okay, good. It's also this stupid tooth thing.
Chargers, Bills, Colts, Ravens. Who is your 5th contender? Chiefs.
I did include the Chiefs just because I can't.
I mean, you're already including the Ravens, who are 1 and 2, so I don't think it's that much of a stretch to include the Chiefs.
Ravens look better to me, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Way better.
Right.
Chiefs' offense is kind of lacking for answers. And the defense feels like it's maybe taken a step back and looks like a smidge old and just not as dynamic.
Yep.
There's also Super Bowl hangover for the team that loses the Super Bowl. That's a real thing.
It is. And that's why they've been so lucky that they win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They haven't really experienced that yet. I'm not ready. Yeah, I mean, you sound kind of like an idiot to say the Chiefs aren't a contender. I think there's a bit of wait and see as far as contender pretender.
Yeah.
While the Ravens, I am willing to give the benefit of the doubt, say contender. I also think if you're going to give the 2 opponents the Broncos have lost to in games they should have won, the no-brainer, they're not pretenders, they're contenders. I think the Broncos are in that same mix as Chiefs as Ravens, as at least borderline pretenders. Steelers? Pretenders for sure.
Pretenders for now. Yep, pretenders for now. I just feel like we've seen this story before. It's like Steelers defense is good, and this year it doesn't even look that good. And Aaron Rodgers can give you a little, but Aaron Rodgers is not getting you to 12 wins, and the Steelers defense is not getting you there. And that's where
their defense being so much worse is the story,
right? And I think that they probably wind up in that same, maybe they do get the 7 seed, but they're kind of an afterthought to me at this point.
Yeah. I'd agree. And then that's it. There's no one else you're even having this convo with.
Jags.
I know, but the Jags are having so many issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had to trade away both Jags wide receivers off my fantasy team.
You had to?
It's just disastrous.
It is.
Yeah.
They can't catch the football.
I got, Brian Thomas late first, and then I took a flyer on Travis Hunter in my flex spot in the top 5 rounds. And yeah, I've kind of had to move on because that team's so terrible.
Yep. Texans? Oh, the 0-3, it's a different conversation.
I believe in the defense, but I think there are legitimate offensive concerns that I don't think are just getting answered.
Right. And we're gonna finish this off in OT. So if you're watching on a TV, go to the website and check us out there. Yeah,
that was an OT. Yeah. Jeez.
Only
dude's never seen an OT before.
Only 6 teams with a winning record in the AFC. Kind of crazy at this point.
And several of them are ass.
Right. The Jags in particular.
Yeah.
The Bengals.
Yep.
Pretender on the Bengals, right? I guess we didn't hit them. 2-1. Yeah, pretender. Okay. We're going to hit Super Chat before we get out of here from our guy, Lucas. Lucas. Is there any way to make that big again? Thank you. Love from Denmark. Loving the show, guys.
Lucas.
Thanks. He gives us 17 Denmark money.
Krona.
We really appreciate. Wow.
That's like their currency. That's a big deal.
Isn't that a dog toy brand?
What?
We'll come back with the details on the pregame show on Monday.
Okay, wait.
On that
I want to
one.
get the conversion though.
Okay, conversion. Okay,
$2.67.
Wow. Thank you for all the Konas, Lucas.
Yeah.
And
we love you.
Shout out
Lucas.
to Denmark. My sister used to live in Denmark. Was there for a few years.
Great
Maybe
place.
you know her.
Spent an incredible New Year's in Copenhagen one time.
Right. I've heard about that.
No, you heard about the one in Amsterdam, I think.
I would get those two mixed up. I do hear more about Amsterdam. I hear more about
places,
Amsterdam. I flew through Amsterdam as a child. My one little international.
That's great.
I thought everybody there did the hamster dance, and I was really for some reason those two things were connected in my 4 or 5-year-old brain.
I guess no crazier than me with the 2C thing.
Right? Yeah. Hamster dance used to be a big deal. That's going to do it for today.
Don't believe I've ever heard of that before. Hamster dance.
As a 5-year-old, I really liked that video. You can imagine what it was.
No one
Really?
knows. No one knows.
That was just me.
Mad love to you guys. Also,
Get me out of here.
if you could get us to 69 thumbs up, that'd be a fun bit.
Right. Yeah.
Let's
Get us up
do
to
that.
69.
Let's do that.
Give us a like on the way out, subscribe, and stay tuned because the Avs guys are up next.
Have a great weekend. Love
bye,
you
everybody.
so much.
So watch us on Monday. We're going to be here all day Monday.
Woo!
We all silly like the mayor.